strap yourself in because I've got some massive Celtic stories for you. We're talking Kieran Tierney's so-called humiliation, Andy Robertson finally breaking his silence about those Celtic rumours, and the last one's the real bombshell, Brendan Rodgers, and why his words could cause absolute chaos at Paradise. You don't want to miss this one. Stay right till the end. We have 6 news a day to keep you updated with the mighty Celtic. Hit that subscribe button and be part of it. Now, this is one that tugs at the heartstrings a bit, eh? Our very own Kieran Tierney, the boy who once tore down that left flank like a man possessed, a wee lad from Muirhouse who lived every Celtic fan's dream, now finding himself in a bit of a battle to prove he's still the same warrior. We all remember, you can almost feel the frustration coming off him, can't you? Chris Sutton's nailed it there. He reckons Tierney might have felt a bit humiliated being left out of the starting 11 while Celtic have been finding their rhythm again. And let's be honest, it can't have been easy for him, sitting on the bench watching games he used to dominate. Now, don't get me wrong, we're talking about Kieran Tierney here, a lad with fire in his belly and pride in his heart. He's no quitter. You don't go down south, play for Arsenal, face the biggest names in world football, then come back to Paradise just to sit around and feel sorry for yourself. But Sutton's right. There's clearly something psychological there. Maybe it's the injuries, maybe it's just the pressure of living up to his own legend. You saw it when he scored that goal against Kilmarnock, the raw emotion pouring out of him. That wasn't just joy, that was years of pent-up frustration, a big release from a lad desperate to remind everyone exactly who he is. Thing is, football's a cruel game, isn't it? One minute you're the golden boy, the next you're being compared to someone else. Marcelo Saracchi, for example. The lad's look sharp, I'll give him that. He fits that inverted fullback role that modern managers drool over, and maybe that's given him the edge for now. But Saracchi's now crocked, hamstring gone, and suddenly the door swings wide open again for Tierney to step up. No excuses, no "I'll get there next week" chat. This is his moment to grab the shirt and remind every single person in Paradise why he's one of our own. And here's where things get really spicy. The whispers about Andy Robertson, a pre-contract in January, a 32-year-old Liverpool captain, another proud Scot, maybe fancying a return home. You can almost hear the debates starting already. Sutton's right, though. Robertson's not the kind of player who'd come back just to coast through a few comfy games at Parkhead. He's a fighter too, cut from the same cloth as Tierney. But if that move ever happened, can you imagine the battle on that left flank? Tierney versus Robertson, 2 warriors who'd bleed for the badge. Look, I'll say this, Kieran Tierney's story isn't done yet. He's got too much pride, too much heart, and too much Celtic in his veins to fade quietly. If he gets that run of games, builds that confidence back, and finds his rhythm again, you'll see the real Tierney rise, the lad who'd run through walls for this club. Paradise loves a comeback story, and maybe this is the one we've been waiting for. So here's my question for you. If Tierney can't get back to his best soon, should Celtic go all in for Andy Robertson in January, or would that be turning our back on one of our own? Hit that subscribe button, lads. Let's jay it loldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic dafts. Here we go again. Another day, another rumour linking one of Scotland's finest back home to Paradise. And this time, it's nae just anybody. It's Andy Robertson, Scotland's captain, Champions League winner, and a lad who grew up dreaming of pulling on that green and white shirt. Now, before we all start dusting off our kilts and planning his welcome party at Parkhead, the man himself's had a wee say about it. And let's just say he's keeping his cards close to his chest. Speaking at Scotland duty, Robbo said he's not had any talks with Celtic. You heard that right, no talks. Instead, he's hinted that discussions with Liverpool about a new deal might kick off in the new year. But here's the thing, the way he's talking, you can tell he's thinking about it. He said he's relaxed about his future, that whatever happens will happen behind closed doors, and that he's just trying to enjoy the next few months. Sounds like a man who knows the clock's ticking, doesn't it? Now, don't get me wrong, the lad's got nothing but respect for Liverpool. He's been a gem for them since he signed from Hull for 8 million quid, helped them lift Europe's biggest prize, and gave everything for that club. But here's the bit that makes every Celtic fan's ears perk up. He's never hidden his love for paradise. He's one of us, a boy who grew up dreaming of those European nights under the lights at Parkhead, and you can't tell me that fire's gone out. Not a chance. The whispers are that if Robertson did decide to come home, it'd be on a pre-contract, meaning he'd officially join in the summer of 2026. Now, imagine that for a second, Robbo and Kieran Tierney side by side in the same squad, two Scotland heroes, both die-hard Celtic men, bombing up and down the flanks at Paradise. The stuff of dreams, right? And it's a big but, that'd spell real trouble for Marcelo Saracchi. The lad's shown flashes of quality, but let's be honest, if Robertson walks in the door, Saracchi's walking out the other. You can't have three top-class left-backs fighting for one shirt, and Robbo doesn't come back to sit on a bench. Now, I get it. Some folk will say he's 31, that his best days might be behind him. But let me ask you this. Have you seen the way the man plays? He's still running like a Glaswegian caught in the rain on Suckyhall Street. He's got miles left in those legs, leadership to spare, and passion that fits right in with the Celtic way. And it might cost a fair bit in wages, but for a player like that, a born leader, a Celtic soul, you make it work. But here's the question I'll throw at you, pal. If Andy Robertson really fancies a return to Paradise, do you take him even if it means showing Saracchi the door? Or do you stick with the younger lad and keep building for the future? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's jai it. Loudy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic dafts. Brendan Rodgers, the man who promised thunder and lightning but left us standing in the drizzle once again. And now, after that dramatic exit from Celtic, it seems the story's far from over. Word on the street is he's got a golden ticket waiting for him in Saudi Arabia. Big money, big spotlight, but even bigger questions about his conscience. Let's be honest here, pal. Rodgers walking away from Paradise wasn't exactly done with fireworks and fanfare. It was messy, loud behind the scenes, and full of that boardroom nonsense that's been hanging over Celtic for far too long. The hierarchy up top's been acting more like a soap opera cast than a football board lately. Leaks to the papers, statements that read like late-night tweets, and folk using the club's official channels to have a wee dig at the gaffer who's just left. That's how you run a club like Celtic. That's how you run a pub argument. Now, the talk is that Rodgers has kept his mouth shut so far, which for him is probably the smartest move he's made since walking out the door. Because, let's face it, the last thing the club needs right now is another round of finger-pointing and press conferences about who said what. We're trying to steady the ship, get the team back in rhythm, and let the new era settle in. The dressing room doesn't need more drama. They've got a title to chase, and every bit of noise from the outside makes that harder. But you can feel it, can't you? Rodgers is itching to tell his side of the story. The ego, the pride, the need to set the record straight, it's all bubbling under the surface. And knowing him, he'll do it with that silky charm, all smiles and soft words, pretending it's not about blame when it absolutely will be. He knows the power of words. The man could sell snow to an Eskimo but here's the thing. Right now, his version of events could do real damage. The support's divided, the suits upstairs are scrambling, and one wrong sentence from Rodgers could light the whole place up again. And look, I get it. Saudi Arabia's flashing the cash, and managers these days are chasing that big payday. But for a man who once talked about passion, heritage, and legacy, heading off to the desert for a pile of gold doesn't scream loyalty, does it? It's all a bit hollow. You can't build a bond with the badge if you keep trading it for the next shiny opportunity. So maybe for once, Rodgers should take the smart road. Keep quiet, take a breather, and let the dust settle at paradise. He'll get another job, no doubt about that. He's too good a talker not to. But maybe he could try something new, a bit of humility. Now, here's what I want to know, pal. If Rodgers does open his mouth and starts talking about his exit, do you reckon he's doing it for closure or just to protect that big ego of his? Hit that subscribe button, lads. Let's giant lady till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs.